Welcome to Motivate You, the Winner Circle here on thisis50.com. Your host, June Archer, and I'm here with my special guest, good friend of mine, longtime friend, super proud of what he's doing. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of who this young man is. This young man is one of the top financial educators. Dubbed as the financial motivator, he uses a culturally responsive approach in teaching financial literacy. He is also a speaker, best-selling author of many books, and the founder and CEO of Mind Right Money Management, a financial education company that blends psychology and personal finance. Ash is the best known for helping people. When I say help, he inspires and motivates people to no end and helps them maximize their full potential by giving them the inspiration, tools, and resources needed to live their best lives. So I welcome to the show my brother, Ash Cash. Ash, what's going on, man?
Brother Joe, I appreciate you, man. It's a pleasure, honor to be here with you, man. You know how I feel about you, and I appreciate you, man. Just happy to be here.
Man, I have to say, great minds think alike. We didn't plan this. We got on the attire for the moment, and it's just so crazy how. Ash, I wanna just say this, man. I've seen your rise for a couple of years now. We've been in the same spaces. We've been on some of the same stages, and every opportunity that I get to hear you speak, it is super inspiring for not only the people in the audience, but for myself to continuously take takeaways and try to apply it as best as possible. I'm not the best when it comes to finances. I haven't always made a lot of money. There's been years where, it looked like this is crazy, like how can I even live on this? And sometimes it's just by faith, right? Sometimes it's just a matter of peeling back and doing without. For you, man, you started out very, very, very modest. I want you to take us back, man, to Harlem, man, when you first got into finances and you were a young entrepreneur. Yeah. How did you even have the mindset to even start bagging groceries before you even started working in a bank?
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, right? So like you said, I'm from 129th Street, 8th Avenue, right? St. Nicholas Projects. And so my mother, I'm the youngest of three. So it's two of us, my brother and my sister. And so I grew up in a single parent household. My mom, worked factory jobs, was really, doing her best to provide for us. Her working, like she would leave like 6 a.m. to get to work, come back like 7, 8 p.m. You know what I'm saying? Talk about how her feet hurt for standing all day. Like she, was like literally like grind, to provide for us. And so just being somebody who was very intuitive, like I was always, observing my surroundings. I remember every weekend when we would go to Bravo's, to the supermarket, every time we would buy groceries, she would always, even though we didn't have it, she would always give $1 to the little kid that was like bagging the, giving the groceries. And so one day, I'm in there with her, and I saw her give the $1, and I'm, peeking into his, to his little cup. And I'm like, wait, like this, and I start watching. I start seeing the people with the better personalities were getting dollars, and and so I was like, I got a pretty good personality. And so one day I just, was like, let me go out and let me just ask, and so I got my opportunity to pack bags, and it was the most fulfilling, thing I've ever done in my life. I remember this to this day. I remember my first day. Maybe my first or second day, but I remember it was like the first or second day I'm packing bags. I made $17. I remember this to this day. I made $17.
Wow.
The grocery store was right across the street from my house, and I lived on the first floor, right? So I lived in apartment 1A, 2406 8th Avenue, apartment 1A. So literally, I had a wad of money. That was a lot of money for me. I was 8 years old. A lot of money. I saw the 17. I was so excited. I ran across the street. I started banging on my bathroom window because my mom's room was right next to the bathroom window. I'm banging on the window like, Ma. She opened up the window and I just gave her the $17. I said, look, I think I almost like threw it at her. I was like, look, Ma, look what I did. And I gave it to her. Then I ran back across the street because I didn't want nobody to take my spot. That's the other thing though too. If you was gone too long, somebody would take your spot. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? So So yeah, it started from the necessity, man. It just started from just kind of seeing how hard my mom was working, and I just saw opportunity to sort of like help, give a helping hand, and that's where the entrepreneurship journey started. Eventually, I did that for a few years. Then I found the next hustle. Fast out to my guy, Rich Kid. One of the guys from uptown, 144th. He was known on 125th Street for like selling T-shirts and mixtapes and things like that. And one day I bumped into him. And I was just like, I said, yo, Rich, man, put me on. I didn't know him from a hole in the wall. Matter of fact, let me tell you, I was actually looking for Kool-Aid, rest in peace, Kool-Aid. So there was a guy named Kool-Aid who was known. So somebody told me like, yo, go to 125th Street, go look for Kool-Aid. So I went to go look for Kool-Aid. It was a lot of people around him. I saw the guy Rich next to him, and I was like, he's like, yo, what's up, shorty? What you looking for? I'm like, yo, put me on, man. I'm trying to get on. And the rest is history, and that started my whole journey as an entrepreneur.
Man, I love that story, man, because just your energy, man. Because it's funny how people watch you, man. You are the host of the Ash Cash show, and you come on, you IG live in it, and you giving tips, man. And some would say this guy, he's just yelling. Yeah. Your energy, Ash, is infectious. Like you are a teddy bear. For people that know you, man, you're a teddy bear, man. We know your love for basketball is like through the roof. For sure. For you, man, I want you to talk about how important, like you just told us a story, and how good you felt as a kid.
Yeah.
In these days, I feel like parents, and you could tell me, chime in. Yeah. Growing up, the things that we're giving our children now, cell phones, buying clothes, and of course we're supposed to feed them and clothe them, but devices. I remember growing up, and when I had a pager and I had my first cell phone, I knew my parents were going to buy that. They weren't buying that. I was taking care of my own pager bill, my own cell bill, and even chipping in on the car insurance. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. How important is it for us to instill, because this is a piece of financial literacy, right? Yeah. It's a piece of financial freedom and learning how money works. Yeah. How important is it for us to make sure when the time is right, our kids, whether they're doing chores and they get paid, whether they get their working papers and they're working a job, how important is it for them to start learning that responsibility and really going out and getting something that allows them to get paid for it?
Yeah. I think it's, if you really want financial freedom, if you want to set your kids up the right way, it is the most important thing you could do. The most, right? There's nothing more important than teaching your kids how to do for self than anything other. It's more important than education. It's more important than anything else. I said what I said. And here's why. Because if you look at the statistics, not just Black, statistics, period. I'm talking about Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, most wealth, 70% of families lose their wealth by the third generation. And why is that, right? It's because the first generation, came from nothing. They grinded out. They worked hard. The second generation saw it, and they was like, all right, I'm gonna keep this up. But the second generation had a little bit of that struggle. And so by the third generation, they giving their kids everything, right? They're like, you know what? I struggle, so I'm gonna give my kids everything. So guess what's gonna happen? The third generation is not gonna really have as much as a reverence for hard work than, the first generation did. And so by the fourth generation, there's not nothing left, right? Because everything is being given. And now the cycle of money is being broken, right? There's a cycle of money. Money is not supposed to be spent, right? Because when you think about spending money, you're ending the cycle of money. You're not supposed to spend money. You're supposed to circulate money, right? And so we got to change the relationship. Instead of working hard for money, money needs to work hard for us. And so if we're, giving our children everything, if we're just, working hard, we're grinding, and we're trying to protect them from what made us who we are, right? Like I am who I am because I've been grinding since 8 years old. Like, this ain't new, right? I just turned 40. Like, I've been grinding. It's 32 years of grind, baby. Like, this ain't nothing new for me. You know what I'm saying? And so the reason why, even now, I have a 12-year-old, I have a 5-year-old. The blessing is that my wife and I are both entrepreneurs. It's a blessing, right? And I think it's the silver lining when you think about COVID-19 and working, sheltering in place, the blessing that came out of that was, yes, my daughter, she's 12 now, right? My daughter, she saw us, like, ever since she was a kid, she would come with me to speaking engagements. So she knew what the grind was, but she never was like in it with us, right? Now she's home. She see the grind every single day. She see me waking up early doing my thing. She see my wife waking up early doing her thing. And so now it's being instilled in her to the point where my daughter runs the book business, right? So I write books. My wife writes books. Like, anytime, a book, somebody buys a book, ashcashbooks.com, you buy a book, it is my 12-year-old daughter that is putting that together and shipping it out. Like, literally, I could, I could do it myself, or, we could just be giving her stuff. But the thing, what happens is this, is that your kids are going to be adults longer than they are kids, right? And so we got to prepare them for the long term. We got to prepare them from a long term, because once somebody knows how to do for self, there is nothing, right? There is nothing that nobody could tell them, right? And so, flash out to 50, right? I remember 50 saying, look, I didn't go to Harvard. The people that work for me do. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I say learning how to do for self is greater than education, because if you know how to do for self, like, I've been rich, I've lost bread, like, I've done all that. It don't matter to me, right? Because I don't, wealth is not the balance in your bank account. Wealth is this. Wealth is your connections. Wealth is the people you know. Wealth is your knowledge. So at the end of the day, if you took everything from my bank account right now, you took everything, all my assets, everything, I'm goodmoney.com. I promise you that, just give me some time. I don't know when. Give me some time. I'm back on my feet. But that's because I have the do for self mentality, and we have to teach our kids that first and foremost.
So, having that mentality, where do we go from here? 2021, when everything's been given.
Yeah.
How do we? Great, we give them the responsibility. Love the story about your daughter. What is the best thing? Talk to your 12-year-old self. I mean, you are a hustler, so you know what it is. Yeah. But talk to that 12-year-old. Actually, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
For the person who is looking to become an entrepreneur right now.
Yeah.
It looks crazy out here right now, right? Some people aren't making any money.
Yeah.
With the stimulus check, doesn't really help too many people.
Yeah.
If you're an entrepreneur, you're creating your own income, it's kind of tough because people are holding on to their dollar.
Yeah.
You had the opportunity to work in banking, leave banking, be in a financial bind, get back on your feet. You just said it. You just give you some time and you can do it. Yeah. But what is the best piece of advice that you could give someone who's saying, Ash, man, I've been trying to do this entrepreneurial thing. I created this product. No one's buying it. I've created, this service. No one's signing up. What do you say to that person who is just looking for the light at the end of the tunnel, who's just looking for that first sale, that first person to sign up to their business?
Yeah.
What do you say to them?
Yeah, I would say remove yourself out of the equation and figure out what value do you bring to the marketplace, right? A lot of times what entrepreneurs do is that they have a great idea, and because they have a great idea, they're thinking about what that great idea would do for them, and that is the wrong way to look at entrepreneurship. Every single day I wake up, I think about what can I provide as a value to my clients, right? Clients, potential clients. What am I providing from a value basis? And then how can I add money or how can I be compensated for the value that I bring, right? So for example, every single day I wake up Monday through Friday, I do a show, right? On IG Live, YouTube, called the Ash Cash Show. Every single day, I'm thinking to myself, how do I provide value to people? I know people are hurting. I know people need this financial education. And so I'm giving them the content for free, right? I don't charge. You can just log on. You can just go on there, and I'm giving the content for free. But what's happening is I'm providing value, though, right? I'm providing a solution to somebody's problem, And as I provide the solutions to people's problem, my audience is telling me what they want and what they would pay for. And so based on the solution I provide, then I offer books, right? Then I offer, my group coaching program, mindrightlegacy.com. I provide, my business program, mailboxmoneyacademy.com. I provide my writing program, ashcash, bookcourse.com. So all of the things all of the services I provide, I use what I provide for free as a way to find out what my people want, and then I create the product or service and have them charge, or I charge for it. So what I would tell the entrepreneur is, I get it, right? I get it. Like, I've been there. I get where you're trying to figure things out. You're trying to make ends meet. I think that's lower level thinking, right? Lower level thinking of saying, yo, I'm trying to make ends meet. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm trying to figure things out. And so because you're stuck in the I is the reason why you are where you are. I would tell anybody, any entrepreneur, get out of the I, right? Because it's a fact. And this is not like no pie in the sky type stuff. This is a fact. The more people you help with their situation, the more you help yourself. So I can proudly say that I have hundreds of people in my book writing course, and I've helped people replace their income from writing books. I can proudly say that. Guess what happens? Of course, they're buying a product or service from me, and so I've made money. I made some good money from that. But that's not my aim. My goal isn't that. My goal is, you know what? I know some people that need to write some books, who got some stories out there, and they want to make a full-time income. Let me teach you how to do that. Oh, I know some people who got some businesses, and they want to learn how to automate their businesses. So let me focus on that, because if I focus on what I'm doing for other people, the byproduct is money. And so people are focusing on the byproduct opposed to focusing on actually what is it that you actually do. If you're still like, I got this product or service, why isn't it selling? Because you didn't figure out what the need was, right? Right. And I'm talking to my street people out there, right? So please forgive me, but good dope sells itself, right? If you got good dope, it sells itself. Like, you don't have to be out there marketing, because the people who consume the product, they already know what the product does. And so, number one, you got to figure out, is your work good, right? Is your work good? If people ain't buying it, is your work good, right? And excuse the syntax, right? But is your work good? If your work is good, then now the next step is to make sure that people know about your work. So think about this. I've been writing books for years, all right? My first book came out in 2009. And I said, man, there's thousands of people millions of people who never heard of Ash Cash, right? Millions of people who never heard of Ash Cash. They don't know who I am. And so what I do, I say, you know what? Let me go out there, and every single day, let me let people know I got that work. I got that good work. Let me keep putting it out there. So I would tell any entrepreneur, number one, make sure you're testing your work, right? The reason why, when a new sandwich shop offers a new sandwich, they don't just say, hey, buy this new sandwich. They cut the sandwich up into little pieces, and when you walk in the mall, they give you a taster. Because they want you to test their sandwich. And if you ate that sandwich, you're like, oh, this was good. Now you want to buy the whole thing. And so your content is your tester. Go out there, give some content out, give some, show people your value. And then once you show the value and you gave them a little tester, now you gotta start offering the whole thing.
I love how you put that. And I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
Yes, sir.
We have a mutual friend and sister, Lucinda, who had an amazing event about a little over a year and a half ago, the Big Ask.
Yes.
And one of the things I have to credit you, because I do use this from time to time. I have my own way of saying it, but when you said it, I'm like, I like how Ash put that together. I got to take a little bit of that. I had to sample that. So it was like a little interpolation. So I got to give you your credit where credit is due. There are entrepreneurs who are afraid to push the button. They've had these great ideas, but they're trying to work on perfecting the idea. They're like, I got to wait until January to make top of the year. I should have it right. And I'm waiting for, the website to do this. And I'm waiting for my web designer to do, I got to take the pictures. I got to look at it this way. At that event, Ash, and when I looked around the room, when you dropped this gem, one perspective, I was like, I think they missed this. And two, the people that did catch it, I was like, oh, he just sparked a fire in people. If they take this and run with it. And you said this specifically, verbatim. You said, do it dirty and clean it up later. I want you to expound upon that one gem. Do it dirty. Clean it up later. For the person who's been trying to push the button. And they'll tell you, Ash, I had that idea 10 years ago. I was going to do that 10 years ago. And I was going to do that 5 years ago. Or I've been to that. Ash is doing it, but I can do it better. Sure. What do you say to that person with that statement right there?
I tell them this. I say perfection is ego, right? You allowing your ego to lead, right? Because perfection says that I'm not going to release my gift until I think it's perfect for me. When the gift isn't for you, though, right? The gift ain't even yours.
Hold on. Ash, I want you to repeat that again. For like I say this when I hear Jim. I want you to say it again for the people in the back, for the people that happen to be not paying attention while they're watching and listening. This, I need you to repeat that again.
When people are holding on to the gift, trying to make the gift perfect, when the gift ain't even theirs, it ain't even yours. You the vessel. You Amazon. You dropping the package off. It ain't your package though. And what happens is when people like, yo, I want to be perfect. You perfecting what for who? That's ego. That's your ego. That's you saying, nah, I wanna make sure the box is clean, right? And so I'm gonna give you an example, right? Somebody orders something from Amazon, the package is inside the box falls on water, and you don't get the people they package because you want to make sure the box is clean. So now you stop. They expecting this next day. You stop it, you open up the package, you get a new box, and now you bring it to you. They're gonna discard the box anyway. They're not even keeping the box, right? And so at the end of the day, like you are the vessel, you are the person that's delivering this message. At the end of the day, that this gift ain't even yours. And so why would you try to wait and perfect something that is not yours? Number one. Number two is that the truth of the matter is that even if it's perfect to you, your audience may not receive it the way you want them to receive it. And so you're wasting so much time trying to make something perfect from your lens where you're not the consumer. And so I say, do it dirty and clean it up later. I'm saying, just put it out there, right? Just put it out there. Just put it out there and see what the feedback you get, right? Let your ego aside. Like, stop trying to be perfect. Put it out there because your audience is going to tell you. If you put it out there and nobody buys it, then now you say, I bet I got to change something up. If you put it out there and somebody buys it, now you get to ask that person, yo, what made you buy this? What enticed you to do this, right? And then now you get to keep testing it out. Yo, my first book, Mind Right, Money Right, 10 Laws of Financial Freedom, it came out 2009. I've edited that book 8 times. Like 8 times. Like I put it out and somebody was like, oh, I didn't like this. Oh, I went back in, I changed it. Oh, I didn't like this. Oh, I went back in and changed it. 8 times, 8 edits after, it is one of my top selling books that pays me every blessed month. And I did the work over 11 years ago. Right. And so I say, do it dirty, clean it up, because, again, I don't take criticism personal. I actually I want you to criticize. I want you to break down what I'm doing. I want you to tell me my stuff isn't good. Because guess what? The more you criticize me, the better and better I get. And then I get to a point where I don't even have to ask no more. I know my books are gonna hit before I drop them. Because I've made so many mistakes. I've done it dirty so long that now my first product is clean. Right? But I didn't decide that though. Right? I let the people decide. I let the people that's paying me decide. I let them tell me what they want more of. And then based on that, I just produce what they want. This is called needs-based selling, right? We can't, get to a space where, we're acting like, I'm going to, put a bow on this and then, and do it because that's what we want. We're not the consumer. Let's focus on the consumer. Let's put it out there, do it dirty, and then clean it up after. And you'll be happy you did it because you save yourself so much time, right? You spend a year, 5 years, 10 years trying to perfect this idea. By the time you put the idea is old. There's 10 people doing the same thing. And now you don't have a space in here, right? Last example I'll give you. In 2009, like again, I started my business 2006, 2009, my first book came out. I wanted to talk about hip hop and money because I've been listening to hip hop since 8 years old, right? Special Ed, I got it made. You know what I'm saying? MC Light, you know what I'm saying? Big Daddy Kane, my three favorite, MCs when I first started listening to hip hop. Special Ed, MC Light, Big Daddy Kane. And so I'm a hip hop guy, and I had a 15-year career in banking from teller to CEO. And so I wanted to merge the two. Everybody kept telling me, nah, you can't do that. Like, you can't talk about hip hop and money and all that stuff. And so I stayed away from it, right? I was staying away from hip hop. I wasn't really talking about it. I was listening to people. A few years later, right? I want to say maybe like 2015 is right from 2009 to 2015. I finally got comfortable with it, right? I stopped being slick about it. If you think about it, Mind Right, Money Right is a Jay-Z song, right? It's a Jay-Z Memphis song, right? In the book, I wore a suit, but I talk about, rest in peace, Chris Lighty. I talk about 50 Cent. I talk about Kevin Lyles. I talk about Jay-Z. I talk about all these people in the book, but I did it, discreetly. Fast forward, 2015, I finally was like, matter of fact, 2011, I finally was like, you know what? I'm gonna mix the two. Got my first, writing gig with allhiphop.com, and I started mixing hip hop with that. And then you fast forward 2021, everybody's doing it now, right? Everybody's mixing hip hop with finance. So imagine if I, didn't do it dirty, if I didn't blaze a trail, if I said, nah, I'm gonna listen to that 2009 person and not mix the two. I decided to mix the two. I got books that Hustlenomics, The Wake Up Call, which is based on Jay-Z's 444 album. Like, I mixed the two, and my success has went through the rocket doing that, right? Because I allowed the people to tell me what they want, and I listen to them, and because I listen to them, that's what allows me to be successful. So I tell anybody, out there, you got to do it dirty, clean it up later.
And the crazy part is, Ash, when you look at sports, I'm a sports analogy guy.
Yeah,
you can practice a play in practice for the whole practice.
Yeah,
you can practice weeks on end, getting ready to go into the Super Bowl, but you'll never know if that play is going to work until you execute it on the field and you say, you know what, we didn't think about that because we didn't realize that guy's going to come off the end and he could potentially sack the quarterback. So you don't really know until you actually try to execute it what goes right and what goes wrong. Right. Secondly, the point that you just made, we block our blessings because we're so adamant about listening to what people think we should do, what people think we shouldn't do, that we end up blocking our blessings. And for me, you're either the first or you're the best. And if you're not in one of those two categories and you say, oh, Ash, don't do that, only for someone else to do it, what does that say about? Sometimes you got to follow your gut and don't allow the devil to dissuade you or use someone else as a vessel or a conduit to dim your light. I'm going to talk about another young lady because I'm glad that you brought up this book because I was getting ready to lead with this. Another sister friend of ours, Asha Tari. That was the time that I heard about you. I had seen you, but we got to intimately have a conversation at a tea shop in Harlem.
Yes.
And that's when you and I did a book swap, an author book swap. And when I saw this book that you gave to
me, big bars. Yep.
I said, man, who would have ever thought to put the two together?
Yes.
So when you say to me that you're listening to the devil, family and friends, co-workers and the like, neighbors tell you shouldn't do it. And when you see the finished product and you see the magic that happens and you see the blessings that come about because of it, it kind of lets you know, man, listen, I gotta stop listening to these people, man, and do what it is that he gave you the gift. He gave you the inspiration to do this. It's not up for any other man or woman to tell you that you can't do it. And they can't see that vision. They can't see that.
Exactly.
You've written numerous books now, man. What continues to motivate you, Ash?
Yeah. What motivates me is what I've been able to, or what God, right? What God has allowed me to overcome. I always say this, right? And not to get religious, regardless of what your, practice is, everything, right? Quran, Torah, the Bible, all of the religious, doctrines say that we are made in the image and likeness of God, right? And so if I'm made in the image and likeness of God, what does that make me? That makes me God, right? Little G. And so for me, I realized that the best way to show God is to prove God, right? Meaning that the best way to prove that God exists is to be God, right? And for me, God is an acronym that stands for greatness on display, right? And so every single day, I want to be able to show the greatness, because I remember, right, when I was coming up in the projects, so I'm a 90s baby, right? So I was born in 80. I grew up in the 90s. And you got to think, crack era. You got to think, shootouts. You know what I'm saying? You got to think all that, right? And a lot of my friends, dead or in jail. I've been in many types of trouble. There's not a I've seen if you could imagine it, anything that's happened in the hood, I've seen it, been close to it, involved in it, whatever, right? And to be at a space where at 24, I was one of the, I was a VP at one of the top, banks in the world. At 31, I was the CEO, right? One of the youngest CEOs of a federally chartered bank. I'm not from Parsippany, New Jersey. No disrespect to anybody from Parsippany. It just sounds like a nice place, right? But I'm not from there. And so I know when I was coming up, a lot of the people that was telling us to do good, they either didn't look like us, or if they did look like us, they didn't come from where we come from. So they didn't really understand what we had to overcome. And so we kind of looked at them like, nah, you bugging, bro. Like, you don't even understand what we go through. But for me, as somebody who, I've seen my first dead body, and I'm saying first, I see my first dead body. I was 12 years old. I remember in the big park. You know what I'm saying? I remember, homie, you know what I mean? Because when we were young, we hit the shootouts, then we it's crazy now that I think about it, but we hit the shootouts and we run to the smoke, which is retarded, right? But we did. And I remember my first time seeing a lifeless body. Like my daughter's 12. I can't even imagine her like seeing the stuff, or you know what I'm saying? And so for me, just having that memory and knowing what people in the inner city like actually deal with, and for me to be blessed in this particular space where, I've reached millions of people already, one of the top financial educators in the country. I've been on every single media outlet you could think of. I have 4 #1 best-selling books. Like, nah. You know what I mean? I can't hide that. God didn't give me that gift so I could just sit in my big house with my feet up and just say, oh, I made it. No, I need to go back to the people who look like me, who talk like me, who have the same circumstance, and show them that they are God too. They are greatness on display. And the more, and for me, I don't stop, because, the more success I get, the more I'm breaking the barrier, the more I'm showing other people that come behind me, I'm showing them like, nah, you could do this or greater. You don't even have to stop, because I stand on the shoulders of giants. I stand on the shoulders of people who did it before, and I look at them. I'm like, you know what? I could do that. Like, fat shout to my big bro Arkil, right? Like, from Rex and Effect. So Arkil, that's my brother, right? I remember, you know what I'm saying? He walking through the projects on TV everywhere, walking through the projects with a briefcase, right? Taking the whole hood on great adventure trips, right? Give it back. I'm like, oh, where you could do that? Like, you from here? I could do that too. And I think for me, you know what I'm saying? Like what Hov said, first one to make a B out the project buildings. Like, that's my goal. Like, why can't I be the first non-entertainer to make $1 billion out of the projects, right? And so for me, the higher I go, I could be that voice, because here's another thing though too, is that there are a lot of people who secretly have the same background and don't talk about it, right? I start every interview. I'm from 129th Street, 8th Avenue. Like, I don't get that mistaken. Please understand that I am from where you from. I've seen what you've seen. I've done what you've done, right? Or that actually rhymed a little bit. But you know what I'm saying? Like, please understand that. And I want to make it clear because like no disrespect, but Ursula Burns, right? Ursula Burns was the first, right? The first Black woman to she was the CEO of Xerox. Yo, she from Baruch Projects in Manhattan. I didn't know that, right? Like she from the projects. And so I'm not saying it's her job to tell people she from the project, but imagine that. Like, imagine how powerful that would be for a Black woman who's the CEO of a Fortune 500 company telling you, yo, I'm from New York City Housing Authority. And so for me, that's what excites me because I want people to know, no matter where you're from, no matter what your background is, no matter what your circumstance is, whatever you put your mind and grind to, it can happen.
Man, I love it, man. Listen, so many gems in there, so many takeaways. I want to lean on the hip hop piece, man. I've been playing this game called University of Dope with a lot of the people that are in this game. It's a game for the culture, man. University of Dope. It's about hip hop culture. I'm gonna play this game.
Love it.
With my guy Ash Cash. So Ash Cash, if you're ready, we're gonna play University of Dope. You do have the opportunity to pass only once.
Okay.
But there's a card that you do not like. But keep in mind that unpopular opinions are welcome. It is all fun. The first one, Ash Cash. Pick one to be your manager. Who would it be? Master P, B, Chameleonaire, C, Birdman, or D, Akon?
I'm going A all day. I'm going A. Because Master P is somebody. I mean, salute to all of the folks on there. But when I look at Master P, he's somebody who I can relate to. He's somebody who said, yo, I don't need the majors. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to get out the trunk. I'm going to do for self first. They offered him, you know what I'm saying, $1 million. He was like, wait, if you're giving me $1 million, then I mean I'm worth more than that. So he turned down that first $1 million deal. And so somebody with that type of mindset understands, right? If you watch what he's doing now with clothing, with food, with everything he's doing, he's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the people, you know what I'm saying, that really, blazed the trail. And so he would understand, like, I bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this guy has some intellectual property, right? Like, you think about this, right? One thing. Like, I've self-published all my books. I've sold close to 80,000 books, right? By myself. So imagine when Hulu or CNN or one of these big names say, oh, I like this guy, Ash Cash. Let me put him on. Guess what's going to happen? The millions of people who never heard of me are going to buy what? They're going to buy my books. And I reap the benefit off of that because I own it. And Master P is on that time. He did that. He owned everything. And then by the time he got to the majors, all they did was shine a light to what he was already doing. And that's how he became a multimillionaire, soon to be billionaire. So Master P, for sure.
All right. If someone wanted to experience hip hop for the first time, what album would you give them? A, Low End Theory, A Tribe Called Quest. B, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, the Wu-Tang Clan. C, Straight Outta Compton, NWA. Or D, Paid in Full, Eric B. and Rakim.
I mean, you can tell, right? Ash Cash. So you already know. You already know the answer. I don't even gotta say the answer. I am Ash Cash. And I'm paid in full, baby. I'm paid in full.
If these four MCs were on the same track, who would come out on top?
Yo.
A, LL Cool J, B, Rakim, C, KRS-One, or D, Big Daddy Kane?
Woo, that's a tough one. That's a toughie. That's tough. Oh, I'm biased, so I'm gonna go D. I'm gonna go Kane. I'm gonna go Kane, right? I'm gonna go Kane because I think that Kane is one of the most. I think there's a lot of people from that era that give him his props. That that know how busy he get. But I think that people would probably say Rakim or LL. Chris is definitely my number 2, right? Because he get busy as well. But I don't think people realize like how nasty like Big Daddy Kane. BDK was like he get busy. So yeah, I'm going Big Daddy Kane for sure.
All right. Best Jay-Z album: A, Reasonable Doubt, B, The Blueprint, C, Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, or D, 444.
I'm going Blueprint. Even though D is my favorite from a fiscally responsible space, but I'm going Blueprint for sure. I'm going Blueprint.
Okay, all right. Drum roll, please.
Uh-uh.
Best hip hop soundtrack. Is it A, Friday, B, Above the Rim, C, 8 Mile, or D, Juice?
Oh, know the ledge, man. I'm going D. I'm going Juice. I was gonna say Above the Rim though, because that's a, you know what I'm saying, because Pac has some, you know what I'm saying, he has some hard joints on there.
Yeah, he has some joints.
Damn.
He has joint. He has joint.
I'm going Juice. I'm going Juice. I'm going Juice.
All right, all right.
Yeah, I'm going Juice.
Erase one person from hip hop history. Who would it be? A, Swiss Beats, B, Dr. Dre, C, The RZA, or D, Timbaland?
Respectfully, I gotta say C. I gotta say RZA. Because when I think about, I mean, you know, I'm a big Hov fan, so
right.
You don't have Hov without Swiss and Timbaland, so I can't get rid of them. And Dr. Dre is just, you know what I'm saying, like he's a whole movement. So I mean, RZA's a movement too, but if I have to choose, I'm choosing RZA.
All right. $75,000 or tickets to the Rock Nation brunch? What would you take?
Tickets to the Rock Nation brunch. I don't even got to think about that, right? because I just told y'all, right? You can make money. You can make money. You can lose money. And I think anybody who would choose that 70K, 75K is short-sighted, right? Because the Rock Nation brunch and the relationship that you could build can make you millions of dollars. So I'm picking Rock Nation brunch all day.
Erase one person from hip hop history. Who would it be?
Whoa! Pass.
A, Nas, B, the Notorious B.I.G., C, Tupac, or D, Jay-Z?
Pass. There's no way. Pass. Pass. None of the above. None of the above. I can't even fathom that. I couldn't even, like, there's no, pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Best Thug Love collaboration. Is it A, Always on Time, Ja Rule featuring Ashanti? B, You're All I Need, Method Man featuring Mary? C, What's It Gonna Be, Busta Rhymes featuring Janet? Or Best of Me, the remix, Maya featuring Jay-Z?
I'm going B for sure. Cause like you feel that in your soul. When that come on, like if you don't get into your feelings, then you're not listening. So I'm going B all day. You All I Need.
Erase one person from hip hop history. Who would it be? A, Queen Latifah, B, MC Lyte, C, Lauryn Hill, or D, Missy Elliott?
Whoa. Wow, that's tough. Oh, that's tough. Wow, that's tough. I'm gonna go. So here. Oh, wow. And I can't pass twice, right?
Nope.
Ooh, I'm gonna go. Ooh, I'm gonna go D, Missy Elliott. I'm gonna go Missy Elliott. I was gonna say Queen Latifah because I love what she's doing on the acting side and the business side, and so if she, but no, I'm gonna go. For the record though, I love Missy Elliott. I love Missy, but I'm gonna go D.
One gotta go. A, J. Cole, B, Drake, C, Kendrick Lamar, or D, Childish Gambino?
Fat shout to my guy Danny, but I'm going D, Childish Gambino.
All right.
Shout out to him though, but I'm going D.
You're stranded on a deserted island, but you can only listen to one album. What will it be? A, Black on Both Sides, Most Def. B, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. C, 3 Feet High and Rising, De La Soul. Or D, The Chronic, Dr. Dre?
Miseducation. She gonna get you by. You stranded? Yo, Lauryn gonna get you by. So I'm going to Miseducation of Lauryn Hill for sure.
Ash Cash, thank you so much for playing University of Dope with me, man. Hope you enjoyed that. To wrap it up, man, music is a soundtrack to our lives.
Yeah.
What song best represents your journey up to this point, or what artist represents your journey and what you stand for along this journey, man?
Yeah, so definitely Jay-Z. So when I look at Jay's story as somebody who came from Marcy Projects, was able to get his start in one space and then move to other spaces, and now become a cultural icon, somebody who is just, you know, really breaking barriers on all facets. He's definitely my model. He's definitely somebody that I look to as a mentor, even though we've never met personally, but he's definitely somebody that I look as a mentor. And the song is "You Don't Know," always, right? And so by Jay-Z, when you know, when you think about "You Don't Know," right? I'm from the streets when you know, hoods will follow you, bullets will follow you, right? When he talks about with so much you gotta swallow him, right? So when you think about that song, you think about how he starts off the song talking about being from the streets and, you know, really how he had to maneuver in the streets, right? So that's number one. Number two, he then starts telling you about the difference. You know, that's the other difference that's between me and them. I smarten up, open the market up, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4. He's literally telling you that, you know, if you ever would have thought that Ash would be an author, not in this lifetime, wasn't in my right mind, right? When he talks about, like, yo, if you thought I was going to be doing this, I never thought I was going to be doing this, right? So that's number two, right? I smarten up. But then verse number three, he like, yo, put me anywhere on God's green earth. I triple my worth. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I am a hustler, baby. I sell water to a well. I was born to get cake. Move on and switch states. Cop the coupe with the roof gone and switch plates. Was born to dictate. Never follow orders. That's me. Get your, yo, this is Big A. I will not lose, right? So by that third verse, he telling you, yo, like, yo, if you don't bet on me, it's a wrong bet. Like, and so I'm at that space. I grew up in the streets. I maneuvered. You know, that was verse one. I got to a space where I'm doing stuff that I didn't realize that I could do. But now I've been winning so long, it's like alchemy. You know what I'm saying? So I know that, yo, put me in. I don't even care though. Like, it's to the point where now I know with all, and I ain't even gonna say humble, because humble is like I think the difference between being humble and being arrogant is when you arrogant, you trying to say I'm putting myself up against other people. But I ain't even gonna say humbly, right? When I'm not humble, right? Because at the end of the day, you need to talk your ish. So I'm gonna talk my ish. I know right now anything I do will be successful. It's actually successful before I even do it, right? And so that third verse embodies that, and so that whole song, that's me all day. You know what I'm saying?
I love it, man. Listen, for those who are trying to get their bus foot forward, trying to be financially literate, where can we find you? Where can we purchase the books? And how often are you on IG Live and YouTube that we can check you out?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, I appreciate you, brother. Like I said, man, thank you for everything that you're doing. Thank you for having me. If you want to connect with me, you could, so books, ashcashbooks.com. If you want to watch my, you know, so every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have the Ash Cash Show. You can find that on ashcashtv.com. And then you can follow me everywhere on all social media platforms at I am Ash Cash. I'm more active on Instagram. So my handle is I am Ash Cash. Or simply go to my website, www.iamashcash.com. Let's tap in, let's tune in, let's get this generational wealth.
Listen, you heard him. Get this generational wealth, break the cycle, do it dirty.
Yes.
Don't wait for it to be perfect. You're trying to perfect it for yourself when the gift is not for you. Get the book. Wake up. The wake-up call is there. He is I am Ash Cash. I am June Archer. This is the Winner Circle Motivate You. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you tell somebody you love them. It may be the last time you see them. God bless y'all. Take it easy. Peace.